Hello, Ezemy one, and welcome back to Sudokunvania 2 Lineage of Logic. I'm your usual everyday time puzzling rat girl, Ezemy Jika, and today I'm going to give up on the dungeon. I wanted to make more progress here, maybe get into these tunnels, even though that's grid 8. What the heck? I haven't unlocked it yet, so I won't read the description. But I feel like it's got to be something to do with this dang bird. Or maybe it has nothing to do with the bird. Anyways, I'm going to leave here, go back up to the kitchen. I feel bad leaving this behind. Um, oh wait, this 4 sees this 4. Because I feel like there's gotta be some progress I can make in here. I just can't find it. These 4 digits are, well, 5. They're 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. And this one can't be 1. That doesn't really help. I feel like there was something that I could do. I noticed at some point there was like some pencil mark I could write down, but it wouldn't help me get a digit. Maybe it is to do with this section of the whisper, because it enters this cell and it definitely enters this cell as well. Which means these 4 cells contain 2 high digits and 2 low digits, which means, well, it also means they can't contain a 5. We have 1 5 placed. So maybe it's worth looking at 4s, because 4s on a line are very constrained as well. Ah, that is something to look at. Actually, wait, in this box, no, the 4 can go here, right? So in this box, 4 can't go here. It can't go here because it's next to a 1, and it can't go here because it would have to be next to 2 9s, and this digit cannot be a 9. So the 4 in this box has to go here. But I guess we could tell that already from this box. So, although, I guess the line can't touch the 4 in this box because it would have to be next to 2 9s. If this is a high digit, it would have to be an 8 because there's 6, 7, and 9 here. If this is a low digit, then these two would have to both be high digits. They would have to be 7 and 8. Which means this would have to be 1, 2, or 3. And if this is 8, then this would also have to be 1, 2, or 3. Well, this one can't be 2 or 3. So it would have to be 1, 8, and then 2 or 3. Is it possible for this... Wait, this 1, 3, maybe that connects down to this? Because... Actually, yeah, these are the only digits this can be. We don't know whether they're high or low, but we know there's 2 high and 2 low digits, and I don't think there can be a 4 anywhere. No, there can't be a 4 anywhere. So this is effectively a 1, 2, 3 triple with this cell. Because 7 and 8 mean this can be 1, 2, or 3, and this can be any high digit. But 2 of these digits have to be, well, it has to contain a 2, it has to contain a 1 or a 3. If there's a 7 anywhere on the line here, then one of these has to be a 2. Which means these can't be 1, 2, or 3. That's a 5, 8 pair here. It's kind of interesting. Doesn't really help, though. If these two are the high digits, they have to be 7 and 8. In some order, the 2 would have to, well, 7, 8, and then these would have to be 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. If these two are the low digits, then this is a 1, this is an 8, this is a 2 or a 3, Well, that means this can't be 6. Well, it also means that this can't be 1, because the only way for these two to be low digits is if this one is a 1. So this can't be 1. I don't think this one can be 3 either, because if this is low, these two are 7, 8. That can't be 3. But this digit is still unconstrained, and we don't know if it goes out of this grid or not. Maybe this arrow has something to do with it, because these 3 digits will constrain this arrow. And if this is the high digit, these are 2 low digits, then if this would have a hard time being a 6. But I guess it wouldn't be impossible. Actually, does there always have to be an 8 on this line? If these two are low, then this is an 8. If these two are high, then they're 7 and 8. So yes, this has to contain an 8. Putting a 5 here and an 8 here. Pulling 8 out of these two cells, which means these are 4, 5, and 7. This would be an 8 here, meaning there's no 8 here. That doesn't really seem to help us, though. Be a 5 over here. There has to be a 5 down here. But with this box and this one, that doesn't let us constrain anything else. These digits, oh, this 4C's down here, so this can't be a 4. These digits are 2, 3, 5, and 7. And scanning through the fog doesn't eliminate any more possibilities. If this is a 1, then these digits, then there's a 2 here, and these two are the high digits. And there's a 3 here, so it would be 1, 7, 2, 8, 3, and that would still work. There's a 3 here. I think it could still work either way here. Well, I said I wasn't going to get stuck on this grid, but I did anyways for like 10 minutes. So let's move back to the kitchen, where there is a line here. Now, everything in the kitchens is hot, so we have to add 1 to its value, which in terms of arrow sums means that the target value is also 1 greater. So this is a 5, basically. And this is at least 2, which means this has to be at least 6. But because that's the value, this digit can actually be at least 5. If this is a 5, then it's a 6. Well, actually, 5. This has to be at least 7. Sorry. 5 plus 2 is 7, which means it has to be at least 6. We have a 7, 8 pair in this column, so this can be 6 or 9. If it's a 6, which is actually a 7, this would be 4, 1. If it's a 9, then this would have to be 5 plus another 5 to make 10. But that would mean this was another 4. So in fact, this cannot be 9. This has to be 6 and 1. Here's another hot sum. Essentially, you can add these two digits, then add 1 to them to get the digit here, and ignore the values. This yellow line, what is going on with it? We've seen it wander around so far, but we still haven't actually discovered it yet. So the smallest this sum can be is 2 and 1, which add up to 3, which would put a 4 in the cell, which I think, no, because of this 3, 4 pair, this cannot be 4, so that won't work. We can't have 5 or 6, we can have 7, 8, or 9 here. So without 5 or 6, we have to, what is it? Subtract 1. Subtract 1 from whatever cell is here, and then that's the sum of the digits without worrying about the hot stuff. So it could be 6 or 6 through 8, the value of the sum. Thinking about this hot is a little strange. These digits are actually 1, 2, 3. Huh. Um, there needs to be a 3 up here and a 4 here. Actually, this 2 sees this 5. So this needs to be the 5. This needs to be 2, 3, 4, and this is 5, 4, 3. I guess I should have been able to see that sooner, huh? Whoops. So that's 7, 8, 9. These two digits, they could be 1. No, they can't be 1, 6. Well, let's focus on sums of 6. They would have to be 1, 5, which won't work. 2, 4. I guess that would work. 2, 4. That would be 3 plus 5 equals 8, which is 7. It could be 2, 4, 7. So that's the only possibility for 7. It could be... Can't be 3, 4. It can't be 2, 5 or 6, 1. So in fact, this cannot be 8. And then for 9, we have... Well, 9, which is actually 8. We would have 2... well, it would start with 1, 7, which I think works. 1, 7, 9. It can't be 2, 6 or 3, 5. So in fact, this has to be 1, 7, 9 or 2, 4, 7. So it has to contain a 7 either way. Let's see, there has to be a 3 up here and a 2. There's a 1 up here. There's a 4 in the middle. Over here we have a 5. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. There's a 4 in the middle again. 6, 7, 8, and 9 are unconstrained still. There's a 1 up here. There's a 6 in the middle. Right, without more constraints up here, we're not going to be able to do anything at all. These 4 digits are 1, 4, 5, 7, 8. But this 4 sees this cell, so this one isn't a 4. And this one can't be a 7. So the only two positions for a 4 to go in this row are here or here. If there's a 4 here, it could conceivably be 2, 4, 9. Or it could be 5, 4, what? No, 2, 4, 6. Or 5, 4, 9. So that kind of constrains this cell. So it could be 1, it could be 1, 5, it could be 2, 4, it could be 1, 5. To make 6, and to make 8, it could be 1, 8, it could be 1, 8 the other way, it could be 4, 5 either way. 1, 2, 4, 5, 8. Wait, but we already know there can't be an 8 here because of these cells. The 8 has to go onto this vine. So these can't, in fact, be 8. So if this is a 9, this has to be 4, 5. If it's a 6, this one, yeah, this one can still be 4 if it's a 9. 5, 7, 8. That doesn't unravel it either. Well, okay, it's pretty clear that I need more practice with these vines and wall climbs. Um, I guess they're not vines in this puzzle, though. I keep calling them whisper vines because that's what they were before. Oh, if this is a 6, where does the 1 go? It can't go here. In fact, this can't be a 1. We can't go anywhere, so this can't be a 6. This has to be 8 or 9. Interesting. But that does mean it could go next to basically any other low digits. If these are both high digits, then they could be 8 and 9, which would put a 3 like down here somewhere, which seems fine. Or 2 even. If this goes directly, then this has to be this would be high, low, high, low, high. Well, it does mean that there's a 6 down here and a 6 up here. Don't know if that helps at all. These digits are 1, 2, 3, 8. There can't be a 1 here. Huh, and even these digits are the same as these. That doesn't have any significance. It's kind of strange, though. There has to be a 7 here or here. So that resolves the parity of the line. In fact, these are high digits and these are low digits. So these need to be 7 and 8. This has to be 1 or 2. And this has to be 2 or 3. So that's a 1, 2, 3 triple in this column. This is also a 7, 8 pair. So these are 4, 6, or 9. We have a 6 and a 9 here, so this is a 4. That 7, these 7s have been here the whole time, haven't they? Forcing the 7 onto this parity of the line. Great. And the only one that would break this part of the line was if this is a 3 and this was a 7, but that's assuming a couple things, so 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 1 through 5. Okay. This 9, I notice sees this 6, a 9 pair. So this is a 6. Putting a 9 up here, a 6 here. Ah, and that confirms that this does indeed sum to 6. This cannot be a 4 then. This is 1, 5, or 2, 4. Ah, and right, these 9s also put a 9 here, which does confirm the rest of our thing here, but doesn't actually narrow it down at all. These digits are 2, 3, 5, 7, 8. Yeah. Well, not 7 because of this 7. So 1, 2, 3. There has to be, actually, no, there could be a 1 here or here. We do have a digit here, but it hasn't really revealed the grid yet. 2, 3, 5, 7, 8. It feels like I'm so close. My fog scanning, I just need to get a little bit better at that. We've placed all the 9s, so that's not going to help. We have too many ambiguous 1s. Maybe 6s are next place to look. There has to be a 6 up there. There has to be a 6 in one of these two cells. And down here. 4 is going to be over here. One of these two cells. Some of these. Huh. It has to be in one of these two cells. In fact, that actually does place a 4. Well, it pulls a 4 out of this cell, meaning this has to be 5 and 4 in this order. That pulls a 4 out of this cell, putting a 4 here. Why can't this be 4? Because this can't be 2. Yes, so there's a 4 here. And we know that the last battery is a 4, so this needs to be the 4 and the 5. Putting an 8. Wait, what? Wait, no. The 4 and the 1. Putting 5 and 8 into these two cells. Whoa, that was... I was really scared there for a second. Okay, so this is not a 4. These are not a 5. So this is 7 and 4. No 7 here, which puts a 7 here. Right, so this has to be 1, 5. Putting a 2 here, and a 3 here. The 2 here means that either of these... Well, actually, it means this has to be 3, this has to be 1, this has to be 8, and that's 7. Aha! And we finally have the tunnels. The ancient design of these buried hallways clashes with the rest of the castle that you've seen. It's as though this underground ruin was here before, and Sudoku-vania appeared around it. We have 9 by 9 Sudoku, but some rows or columns have gaps which are not part of the grid, and not all rows or columns have 9 cells. Interesting. And this 8 also lets us go 5 and 8, which should let us power the lift up to the top floor and put a 1 in the upper hallway. Quest completed. Activate the lift. Yippee! The hallways in the upper floors of the castle are better kept than those below and seem equally vacant, but are all the more threatening for it. It is a vanilla 9 by 9 Sudoku. And we have we have the between line, we have some arrow sums, which are 3 long, we have some consecutive dashes. Oh, okay. I'm getting a little lightheaded from all the all the extra places we can go now. Tunnels. This is grid 10. Interesting. Where's grid 9? Hmm. This is, well, this sum has to be, well, in fact, this has to be 9, because these digits have to be 2, 3, and 4. They cannot contain a 1, and the smallest sum without a 1 in 3 unique digits, well, actually, wait. It could be 2, it could be 2, 2, and 3, which would be 7. It could even be like 2, 2, 5, actually. Obviously, we had a 9 there, but I think it could still be... Technically, that wasn't a perfect logical deduction, so I'm not including it. Sue me. I'm not going to look at this. I'm going to look at the tunnels. I want to do the tunnels. This has to be 1 or 2. Oh, by box, right. So this is a 1. This has to be 3 or 4, which means this has to be 8 or 9. There's a 9 here, meaning this is 8, and a 3. And this, by column, has to be a 9. That's a box? Okay. I guess all the boxes are 3 by 3, so the remaining digits in this box are 4, 5, and 6. Yeah. So 4, 5, and 6. This can't be a 4, I think. This has to be 2 or 3 to make 8. These digits have to be low. These 2 digits have to be high. They can't be 9. This can't be a 6. These can't be 4s. These digits need to have a difference of 2, so they have to be 6, 7, and 8 in that order. This has to be 1 and 1. This can be 2 or 3. The remaining digits in this box are 2, 3, 4, and 5. This can't be 3. Following the whisper line further. This has to be 2, 3, or 4. Well, it can't be 4 because these would both be 9 then. And these can't be 6, so they have to be 7 through 9. 2 digits start add up to 7, 8, or 9. This seems rather unconstrained. Okay, well, we were on a roll for a minute there. Oh, right, and this one does nothing for this grid. It puts a 1 here. That's it. Okay. Okay. Maybe we can do more here. Yeah, I feel like let's just see if we can finish off more of the dungeons for now. This it can't be 3 or 5. This is 2 or 8. This digit is 5, putting a 2 and 5 here, putting 8 and 2 here. This is 3 and 8. These 3 digits are 3, 5, and 8. These 3 digits are 2, 6, and 7. And we don't have... I relied so much on pencil marking. You can't take that away from me. They took it away from me. This can't be 1 and 8. This can't be 2 and 6. Wait, 2 and 7. These are 1, 5, and 6. These are 2, 3, and 8, I think. No, not 8. In fact, this 8 means this has to be 3 and 6. These 2 digits are 2 and 7, I think. These can't be 7. Yeah, so there's 1, 5, 8 here, 2, 7 here. Actually, this bird is probably going to be what lets us finish off the rest of this grid. This isn't 1. These are not 2 or 3. Oh, that puts an 8 here and a 1 here. Ah, or whatever this hook is. 1 here. This is 7 and 4. The 7 sees this 2 and 7. This 7 puts a 7 here. We've got a coin. What else? 4s. We've done all the 4s. We've done all the 9s. We've done most of the 1s. 8s. This can't be an 8 or 5, so that's a 3. We've got a 5, 8 in this column, putting a 2 here. We've got a 3 here, putting a 6 here. This 6 puts 2 and 6 here. And then this 1, 5, 8 is a deadly pattern that we cannot disambiguate without this bird. Okay. So that's everything we can do in the dungeons. We defeated all the enemies and collected all the coins. Let me get rid of this coloring. Because I just like seeing the plain grid, actually. It's quite nice. Back into the tunnels, perhaps. Well, this can't contain a 1, so the largest digit it could have is, what, 2, 7? So it has to contain digits between 2 and 7. That's not very constraining. Maybe we can do more up here? No, the only digit we could conceivably do something with is 1, but that one's ambiguous up here. Actually, this is the end of a sum arrow, isn't it? Which means this cannot be 9, so this has to be 6. Putting a 1 and a 9 here. Aha! And there's our map. This, what is that? Is that a 3 or a 13? Or is that an 8? Like, I genuinely can't tell what that digit is. But it definitely goes outside of the grid. Oops. Well, that puts an 8 here, which puts us... We can see the rest of this red, yellow line, but we can't do anything with it yet. These two digits are, what, 2 and 4? Okay, so these are 2 and 4. And I'm pretty sure that is a 3, which would put a 0 here. Yeah. Conference room, hidden by breakable wall. Aho, what do we have here? Sudoku, fill the grid with a set of 4 distinct digits from 0 to 4 without repeating in a row column or 2 by 2 box. So we have a 0 out here somewhere. We found our first bonus puzzle! Hooray! I wonder where those show up. They'll probably only show up when I complete them. So these 3 digits have to sum to 19 without a 0 in them. There has to be a 0 up here, so this has to actually be 2 digits that sum to 13. So they could be 6, 7, 3, 8, 4, 9. That's way too many possibilities. There has to be a 0 up here. So 2 of these digits add up to 13, and 3 of them add up to 19. So 13 minus 9 means that one of them has to be 6. In fact, one of the digits left out of 13 has to be 6. So the remaining possibilities are 5, 8, and 4, 9. I'll just put them in one cell. So it could be 5, 8, or 4, 9. And that means that we have to have a combination of digits that add up to 11 as well. We can't have all 3 add up to 11, obviously. Actually, we have to have a 0 inside this cage. It could be here or it could be here. If we have 4, 9, 6, then it's impossible to make 11. So it has to be 5, 8. It has to be 6, 5, 8. So this has to be 0, 5, 8. And this has to be 0, 5, 6. These two digits see both of these digits. So effectively, I think that has to be another set of 0, 5, 6, and 8. Which means this cannot be an 8, I think. Because if this is an 8, these are 0 and 5, which would break this. Yes. So there has to be an 8 here. There has to be a 6 here. This digit has to be the same as this digit. Ah, and that puts a 6 here. Puts a 5, 8 here. There has to be a 6 up here and a 6 out here. These are 5, 6, 8. This could be anything, actually. Well, any of the 4 digits that we have. If there's a 5 here, it clashes with these two cells would clash, because the 5 in these cages would both go here. So this can't be 5, which means this can't be 5. Right, these cages both need to contain 0 as well. So if we put the 0 into this cell, it pulls zeros out of those, so it would put a 0 here. Well, right, if there's a 0 here and here, then it sees all the cells in this cage. So in fact, these need to be 8. Putting 5 and 0, 8. This needs to be the 5. Putting the 6 and 0, 6, 0, 8, 5, 6. Whoa. I cleared a bunch of fog outside. What is this? Why is there just a random piece of fog not cleared there? Interesting. So I guess clearing bonus puzzles only removes fog from outside the grid. Huh. Wacky. And where's grid 9? Actually, grid 9 is probably this one, isn't it? No? Where's grid 9? Or maybe it's this one. Yeah, okay. We have to go through the tunnels to reach the grid 9. After 2-3 pair in this column, I think. Can't do anything else in the dungeons. Maybe we can do a bit more up here. What are these 2 digits? These are 6 and 7. Okay, 6 and 7. These 3 digits are 3, 5, and 9. That's a 9. These 3 digits are 4, 6, and 8. There's a 6 here. These 3 digits are 3, 5, and 9. 3, 5, 9. And these digits are 2, 3, 5, and 7. So this one, it can't be 2 or 7, putting a 3, 5 pair here. In this row, putting 7 and 2 here. 9 and 7, 3, 5, 9, 3, 5. And that, oh, that puts a 3 here. But otherwise, in a 5 here, these 4s and 8s are in a deadly pattern, which will be resolved by this stupid bird again. What is this bird? But that is all, that is the map and all of the coins in the offices. Well, I guess it could also be resolved by this yellow line that we don't know what it is. But we're not getting anything out of this, anything else out of this grid for now. So, to move on. This digit is 5 or 9. That's kind of interesting. Just by Sudoku. This six is pretty rare for this grid right now, huh? Oh. There has to be a 2 up here as well. So again, this is a 2, 3, 4 triple, actually. Yeah, this is a 2, 3, 4 triple in this box. And if we look at the sums, I believe it means that this has to be 2, 4, 7. Yes. There we go. So this is a 2, 3 pair. These are 5, 8, 9. Oh, it's a 5, 5, 8. This can't be a 7. So this is 5, 6, 8, or 9. We have more of the between line. So this has to be what? Right. It's 1 through 4 in the hot cells. Oh, that's a 1. We have another grid. We have jumped to grid 11, I guess. Huh. A series of interconnected ballrooms is filled with music. You can't help but move to the beat and realize it is a negative constraint. We have 1 to 9 Sudoku, and we have a negative XV. Values in orthogonally adjacent cells may not sum to 5 or 10. So, right, a positive constraint would mean that digits... well, if there was a V, normally if there's a V in between 2 digits, in between 2 cells, it means that their values sum to 5. If there's an X, it means 10, Roman numerals. But with a negative constraint, it means that every position where an X or V do not appear, that they cannot sum to 5 or 10. And that's just being generalized here. So I think that means, because, yes, this is part of the ballroom, This digit is actually a 2, and this digit is either a 3 or a 4. If this is a 2, which is actually a 3, and this is a 1, which is actually a 2, those would add up to 5. So this cannot be a 2. This has to be a 3. That's a 1 and a 2 here. We've got another yellow line segment here, and a sum arrow. There has to be a 6 up here. This is no longer hot, which means it needs to be between the digits 2 and 5. It cannot be a 3 by box. And because this is a 2, well, it also cannot be... Right, because this is a hot 2, and this would be a regular 3, which it already cannot be, so... This digit has to be 8 or 9 by column. We've gone pretty far up through the kitchens, but where's the dining room? Well, whatever. We activated the lift. Did that give us anything? No. Okay. This digit sums to these two digits. They cannot be 2 and 3, and they cannot contain a 1, so they're at least 2 and 4, which means they're at least 6. So they have to be 6, 7, or 8. They can't be 9. It could be 2 through 6, I believe. Well, it can't be 6. Oh, and it's hot as well. Forgot about that. So if this is 2, 4, then we add 1 for the hot. This would have to be at least 7. So if this doesn't contain a 2, it could be 3, 4, and 8. Could it contain a 5? It could be 2, 5, and 8. But I think the maximum it can contain is 5. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, but there's a 2 in here by box. So it has to be, in fact, it has to be 3, 4, 8, I believe. So that puts 2 and 3 here? What? I did something wrong with this arrow sum. Something's wrong with this sum here. It can't be 5. 7, 8, or 9. And we have a 2 or a 4 here. So 7 could be 2, 4. 7 could be 4, 2. Oh yeah, I guess there's no reason this couldn't be a 4. 8 could be, reduce it by 1. We have to make 7. It could be 2, 5. It can't be 2, 5. It could be 4, 4. It can't be 4, 4. This cannot be an 8. If this is 9, this could be 2, 6. It can't be 2, 6. If it's 4, it could be 4... Wait. If this is 8, and this is 4, we need to make this 7. It could be 4, 3, which doesn't work. I think this needs to be 7. Yeah, it is 7, but we don't know the order of these two digits. Okay, that's where I went wrong. The logic for this section still stands, though. Right, this is a 1 because this is a 2, 4 pair. Duh. And because of the negative V constraint, this is still a 3. These can be 1 and 2 in some order. And now we can properly look at this sum again. The minimum this can be is... what? Is still 2, 4. No, it could be 2, 3 now. because this could be a 4, putting 2 and 4 here. So if this is 2, 3, then that's makes this 6. This can't be a 9 by that. This isn't a 7. These are 5, 6, 8, 9. Oh, and this is also 8 or 9. Right. So this could be 2, 3. It could be 2, 4. It could be 2, 5. I think that's the maximum. Because if this is 2, 5, then this is 8. Well, this can't be 2, 4 because of this cell. So if this is 2, 4, that would be 7, but it could still be... No, in fact, this can't be 7 then. Because the only other way to make 7 would be like 1, 6, which doesn't work. So this has to be 6 or 8. This could be 2, 5, 8, or it could be 3, 4, 8, or it could be 2, 3, 6. There's got to be something about this chain of consequences. If this is 2, 3, then this is 4, 3, 2, 4, which works. If this is 3, 4, then this is 2, this is 2, this is 4, this is also 3. Huh. If this is 2, 5, then this is 4, 2, and these are 3, 4. So each combination does work. I think that does put a 2, there has to be a 2 here and a 2 in one of these 3 cells. There can't be a 2 outside of these cells. So it does put a 2 up here. Ah, interesting. Another enemy. We haven't seen one of those in a little while. This is a sum of some digits, so it cannot be a 1. This is also a sum, so this cannot be a 1. This is a 1. It's a coin. This cannot be a 9 or an 8, or, well, it could be... This could be 1, 7, 9, or 1, 6, 8. So that's an 8, 9 pair in this row, making this 6. Whoops, 6. So these have to be 2 and 3, putting a 4, 2 and 4 here, putting a 3 here. The digits in this column are 5, 7, and 8. In this column, they are just 5 and 9. 5, 7, 8, 9. Yep, that works out. There's a negative 10 constraint between these two digits. So in fact, well, if we take into account that they're both hot, that means they cannot add up to 8. So this digit cannot be a 7. This has to be a 7. But once we're outside of the grid, it's fair game. This digit cannot be a 5, but it wasn't going to be a 5 anyways. This digit cannot be a 6. Let's look over at this sum again. This digit has to be at least 4. This digit has to be at least 5. So for this to be, actually, I don't think this can be 5. Because the minimum sum, we can't have a 1, so these could be 2 and 3, which is at least, which is 6. Well, it's technically 7, but the way I'm doing it is you add up the digits in these two cells and then add 1 to get the digit in this cell. So this digit has to be between, well, it can't be 3 actually, so this has to be 4, 5, or 6. 2 plus 6 is 8, which is actually 9. Well, it can't be a 6 because of this 6, so that's 7 or 8. These digits are 5 through 9, which doesn't really help at all. There has to be a 5 up here. We don't know where the 5 is in either of these boxes. Looks like there's going to be something interesting out there that we cannot reach yet. This cannot be a 4. This also cannot be a 4. So there has to be 4s here and here. This diamond, maybe I can actually do something with it. This is an 8, 9. That puts 7, 8, 7. If it's 8, 9, that's 6, 7. This is 8, 9. This has to be 7. That's a 7. Whoops. 7. That's an 8. And then this is just a 5, 6, 2, 5, 6 pairs. Okay. That wasn't as helpful as I was hoping. Wait a second. This 1 sees this 2 and 1. Sees this 3 and 2. This 3 sees over here to this 3. My fog scanning. It's even worse than my regular scanning. These digits are 5, 6, 8, and 9. Well, 4 digits. This can't be a 5. These digits are 4, 5, and 7. Oops. This can't be a 4. This one's not a 5. We have an 8, 9 pair, so all of our 1s, 2s, and 3s are placed. Our 4s are narrowed down. 5s are not great. 6s, barely any. 7s, not happening. 8s, do we have a single 8 placed? If there's an 8 here, it would put a 4 here. Wait. No, it would put a 5 here. So it would be 8, 5, 7, 6, 8. Yes, that's what I thought. So if there's an 8 in either of these positions, it puts an 8 into the other one as well. Because if we go the other way, it goes 8, 6. Actually, I don't think it goes the other way. But this one cannot be 8. This one has to be 7 and 4. So this is 7 and 5. Putting a 4 here. Meaning these are 6, 8, and 9. Has to be a 5 down here. This is 6, 8, or 9. This yellow line is so long and I haven't even found it yet. There's also this weird 2. I don't know what that is. This 7 that we've placed sees these digits. These aren't 7. Putting 7 into all of these cells, I guess. It doesn't really constrain anything much. Well, actually, this 7 pulls 7s out of these 2 cells. Which means this can't be 6. Right? Because if this is 6, yeah. So that means there has to be a 6 up here, which means this has to be the 7. Ah, and that's the map. Wow. 7 and 1 means that's 9. Putting 8 here, 5, 9, 8, 5, 9, 8, 6, 9. This has to be 7, 6, 5, 8. Wait, yes. 7, 6, 5, 8, 9, 7. 6, 7. These are 8, 9. These are 6, 9. This is 6, 8, 9. There's an 8 here. These are 5, 6. These are 5, 6, 8. And these are 5, 6, 9. And I don't think there's any way to disambiguate these without tackling this boss. The head chef doesn't take kindly to you blundering about in his kitchen. Oh, but this 8 sees this 6. So this has to be 6 and 5. So this means this is 9. And this is 1 and 9. This digit has to be 1, 2, 5, 7. Yeah, the remaining digits in this box are 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. This isn't 1 or 2. This is 1 or 5, 7. So that's a 2, 3 pair in this box. Putting a 5 here. 7 here. 1 here. Those are 2, 3, and 4. I don't think there's anything else I can do in this box or in the courtyard anymore, because it is extremely cramped. But the extra, missing a whole row and column for each, or missing 3 digits out of every row and column, really doesn't make things easier. So I'll come back once I have this bridge thing and the yellow line. But we've made a lot of progress on a lot of these grids. So next time, 8 and 7. Does that, yes, completion of the lower hallway. Yippee! We've completed 1 grid fully. Wow. Cool. Anyway, I wonder if this will be the yellow line. Next time, I will tackle the kitchen boss, hot cuisine. But until then, mo sono chika desho. Oyasuni.